Rod is pitching for the Mets, and I'm like, this is it. I'm done. It's over. And he walked Mariano Rivera, and it was like the great. I'll never forget. I remember exactly where I was standing, and you're like, when you grow up a Yankee fan, you're all like, nothing makes you feel better than being like, the Mets fucking suck. Yeah, like, it's like, and like the way that I won that, it was just, I'll never forget. I know exactly where I was. And it's your favorite team. Like, I did the same thing when Josh Allen first started against the Vikings, and we were dead to rights. We were minus 800 with just the money. Right.
Bing.
I was like, fuck. And I bet, like,
Jonathan Baby. He's here already. What's up, man? What's for dinner, Jonathan? Alright, so I think that Scream's gonna look real good. I like making her hair real as big as I can, basically, and then I'm really liking that Thor. He's looking good. His spiral's a little, but it's because he's about 1/3 the size of my pinky nail in terms of his head, so it's about the biggest swirl I could put on there. And then, yeah, man, I think that the dragons are gonna look real good when they're done. Their shape is doing good. His shape is looking great. I like his little hand I put there. It's very spooky hand. You're going to be able to see his lightning through his wings a little bit, because his wings are going to be semi-translucent with their, what do you even call that? I don't know. His wing material. Membrane. That's what I was trying to say. Our Silver Surfer there, he's coming in hot. It's just going to have claws and like the symbol and the swirl, right? So the Hulk, I don't like the Hulk. We're going to go back over him, make him all green, and then we're going to do his chest symbol in bright red instead of that. That's just a sketch red. And then we're just going to do like a face hugger symbiote over his head. And then maybe give him like some shoulder pads. And but I want to leave him green because he's pretty green. And obviously we got Captain America. That's going to be Iron Man pointing his hand repulsor. I didn't do him yet. Hybrid, I already showed these all to you, so they're not done yet. Now I'm going to move on to Gwenum. Xavier, I don't remember you. I don't remember you. I'm just kidding. But we are Africa.
But you said living in Vegas like hardened your heart, and you said the Yankees were your favorite team. Did you have teams that Vegas hardened for you? Like your love for it? No, it's just murder being a fan. Okay. Like
Scream is a favorite of mine for sure, man. Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan in the Bulls.
I was just joking with you, Xavier. I know who you are. I'm just messing with you, man.
Oh, I'm there for the Dolphins. Like, I know, you grew up in New York, and I'm there for the rivalry, and I'd always be on the other side of the bar.
Just joshing.
There's so many Dolphins in like New York that rebelled. I think it's because when they were growing up, kids like those colors. And when they see them, they're like, those are cool. And then, maybe they hate their dad or something like that. Yeah. But I noticed a lot of New York City, Connecticut Dolphins. But then you would think the same thing about Dallas Cowboys too, right? The Giants. Yeah. There's not a lot of crossover there. Yeah. But I noticed. I mean, I'm not from New York City, I'm from Buffalo, obviously, but and there's Yankee fans in Buffalo. But I always noticed.
Quite the challenge, truly epic. Thank you. It's actually rather fun. It's a little bit of a challenge, yeah. I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't say it's not, because then I'd be out of work, right? I'd be like, God, this is just so easy. I'd be like, guys, this is really hard. No, it's as hard as you let it be, honestly. It's as hard as you want it to be. What time is it where I live? It's 9:22 p.m. So I'm the one who goes to bed the last here in America. Of over 4 or 5 time zones that we're exposed to here. I've traveled all them time zones twice now by car on road trips. You just wake up in a new time zone, or you stop halfway through a time zone, or your phone tells you it's going to be one time when you get somewhere, and it turns out it's another time because your phone's a piece of garbage. And you're like, what the hell is that?
When I went to Vegas, I was such a fan of teams, and it just made it all go away because you see it as a weakness, and when you want to be like a professional gambler, you want to take away all those weaknesses, all those things that make you not, it's like, man, I only fucking bet on that.
It's midnight 22 for you, so that means you must be on the East Coast there, buddy. You're on the East Coast. You over there with Jonathan, baby. You're on the East Coast too.
Why are you sitting at this table? But then I'm like, because I love being here. I love doing it. I want to get good. Like, I'm not, a lot of celebrities who play, not that I'm a fucking celebrity, but I have some, I'd say celebrity, a little bit of fame. And a lot of people who play poker like that, they do it like once a month or whatever, so they play bigger. They gamble, they don't care, because they're like, oh, I'm away from my kids and my wife and this. And I was showing up like every day, 3 p.m. grinding it out. And I played for 8 hours, go home, and there were times where it's tough to now because I don't play as much and I don't have the passion for it, but where like I would lose or win and it was the same. I just wanted to get better and I wanted to grow and I wanted to this. Where now I very rarely play because I stopped taking 15 Percocets a day. And like when you take a bunch of fucking Percocets a day, you could sit at a table for 12 hours. How do you stay sharp like that? I would be like indifferent to my family if I was on something. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to the compound.
For one more year, I am. Astoria, here I come. That's awesome, dude. Astoria. Beautiful over there.
It's not a big deal. Yeah. So people think like, oh my God, like if I took 50 Percocets, I would die. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you didn't take 14. Exactly. Yeah. I built it all the way up. Yeah, 3 a day to 4 a day to 5, and then all of a sudden you're taking 15. And you only
if you need help moving in, bro, I might make a trip out of it because sometimes I go see Clayton and he's nearby. So if I was over there, it might be a good time. Just depends.
I would never know, like, whether I'm taking or this. I would just always, like, grab a handful, put them in that, like, secret pocket, and just, when I used to be a bit of a pill guy, I was always doing the old, to see where I was at. Yeah. Not necessarily counting, but stop. Right. See, I used to do that when I would take 3 or 4, but when you start taking 15, you forget to do everything. Yeah, no, sure. Yeah, so I would be like, oh man, I should have probably fucking checked how many pills and that thing. And also I went from buying like 30 at a time to buying 300 at a time. Yeah, so it was, and then you're just trying to find like the mass amount. Yeah, and the worst part is when you meet somebody and you don't have that like you need someone who, like, there's a lot of girls I would actually meet who would be like, oh yeah, like sometimes I'm on my period, I take a Percocet or like, or whatever. Even dudes who are like, oh yeah, I take Percocet too, but I didn't ask them like, oh, you take fit. So I would be talking to them, I'd be like, hey, you know where I can get like 300? And they would fucking like jump back in their chair like 300 for what? I'd be like, for next week, like, like I just, yeah, and it was fucking, and you don't, then you don't realize that like, oh yeah, you can 300 for less, you could have rest your life and you still have some left over for people, Sometimes, yeah. I always kept mine manageable to the point where I was like 3 or 4, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my Percocet. Because I was prescribed for a long time. Yeah. And they were giving me a good amount. So it wasn't but they were giving me enough that
Absolutely, anytime. And you're moving in at any time? That's weird. I never heard of that. Do you like drawing in the morning or at night? Ooh. Great question, sir. I like drawing whenever I feel like drawing. And sometimes it strikes me any time of day, but I do enjoy drawing at night. It's very relaxing. Very relaxing. It's probably like really, really good for you. Doesn't put you to sleep, but it's very calming. Drawing. And Clayton likes to draw the most at night, he said. That's when he prefers to draw. I like to talk about Clayton because it helps kind of solidify. Try to remember everything he tells me. What would Clayton say on the matter? Cliff says, he says, love that place too. Yeah, Astoria is beautiful. Bigfoot country. It's my shit not coming through. Let me see. What else did you say, Cliff? Astoria. Yeah, no, your stuff's coming through. Jonathan says, looks like when this epic is finished, a lot of people will be happy that I'm going back to the end of the line. That's true, yes. Yeah, somebody did say you're talking one more time. Well, I mean, I guess you are. I don't know. Never really thought about it. It's not really hogging up time. It's just that's how long your commissions take. If someone puts Jason Broersma, if you guys think that, actually, I think Jason Broersma was the guy who made that comment to you, was he not? Which is, he's just joking because he's only a few away. He's like 6 or 7 in line, and he has 5 pieces in line, and they're big ass pieces. So they're gonna be more of those lethal protector that I did like Toxin on. He's got another 5 of those that he already has in line. So he's going to be taking up way more time than you, Jonathan, like over twice as much time. So I wouldn't, and he's the one who made that comment. So he's just pulling your leg. It's because he's anxious. He wants to get to his books because he knows that they're going to take forever. Forever and ever. And I got 30 people in line, so everybody's going to fucking keep their pants on. They're taking me a little bit longer than expected too, so people are going to wait even longer than they thought. Which is okay, it's fine, we'll get there. Everybody relax. Cliff says, I am lagging. That is your bad. How dare you lag? Oh wow, Jason, you can wait. Yeah. A marijuana bowl, he says. Every time my morning pops up, I smell. Yeah. I love that one. When it gets closer to Christmas time, I'm going to change it to my Grinch Christmas head. I like switching whichever ones I think look like they'd make good profile pictures. I was going to make my It guy that I did for Cliff one of my profile pictures, but TBH, he's super scary. I don't like scary movies. I'm just going to be honest. The only reason I watched it was because my wife likes scary movies and Cliff commissioned it, and I watched that movie, and it was a good movie, it was, but I just I'm not a scary movie guy. I don't see the joy. I like to watch a nice comedy or something. Puffing right now, bro. Nice. It's cool with me. I was just commenting on this video I saw, but I like me a good puff here once in a while, man. Legalize it. That's what I say. Let's see. It's disappointing I don't get to do eyes on any of these characters, but because eyes are like a money shot. But the swirl is growing on me. I'm liking the swirl the more I do it. It's really growing on me.
Yeah, and my building was like a Section 8. You know, it's like we lived a block away from like the bad project, and we were considered like the nice project. You know, but it was the same shit. You know. And maybe a little better, because I think what happened was there were 3 buildings in like the complex, and 2 were up on 3rd Avenue, and 1 was on 2nd Avenue. And the one on 2nd Avenue, I think if you make it like Section 8, where you let people like income-based rent, then you get like a big tax break or something. So they made the other 2 where it was like people were buying condos in like nice buildings, and then ours was guys shitting in the fucking wash. You know? And I remember there was a time where. There, 2 people were having sex in the hallway, but they weren't just having sex because that would be kind of normal. If they brought the mattress from inside of their bedroom out the door into the hallway and had sex like they were on their bed. Yeah, because they can't. That Berber carpet, you skin your knees. Can't happen. Yeah, gotta bring the bed out. Like, why don't we fucking floor it down? Yeah. So I was raised like that. So in my head. I didn't go like, okay, I made this amount of money on Sopranos, this is where I need to live. It was more
Do it,
like,
bro. Use my Pennywise. I know, but he's scary. I don't like that. Putting that in now. Eyes of the kid anywhere. That's true. That's true. A portal to the soul that they say. Never liked the swirl until the Maestro book, and it grew on me. Oh yeah. My daughters keep getting better and better. Scary fast. Oh, nice. Yeah, man.
At 15, you have no overhead? I'm like, this is fucking, I was I went to Blockbuster.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I was fucking, I
I see a little progress updates like that.
very quickly, I was like, oh, I have to make one.
Okay, that's good for her for now. Let's see. Really get the shape right on their fingers there.
Oh, this is great. Like, I can do it. And then, like, I guess, 8 years after Sopranos, they finally called me, like, the song and dance is up. Like, you're not in the fucking union anymore, pal. And I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden, when I started having to pay my fucking medical shit, and that's because, listen, I'm not complaining at all. Sopranos is the greatest fucking thing ever. It was the best thing that happened to me. The people were so amazing. The talent. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. But because of on demand, we don't really get residuals. Right. You know? So I make probably like $8 grand a year or something like that, and I don't get the benefits anymore. And the $8 grand a year isn't just the problem as the benefits were, because we're spending more money just trying to fucking So that was like my first raise I got. They were like, okay, now you're making 22 grand a year, but then they gave me health insurance, which deducted money from my paycheck and basically just right. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's get into a little news before we get done here. I think we're looking about 20 minutes. Got some news stories.
Yeah, I knew what you meant by her eye drawings. I was talking about those eyes, and then you were talking about, you showed me her eye drawings. Jonathan Beebe's daughter also draws. What are your daughter's ages again? I forget. I know Jonathan, I think yours is older than Jonathan's, but my nephew is 3. So he's doing little doodles. He's doing great doodles. He's doing really, really good doodles. Probably the level that I was doing back then. Think about it. Man, how are you drawing like that with accuracy? Your arm looks cranked way up more on the page than it usually does. Bro, I draw all kinds of ways. Growing up, people... Why is that blurry? Don't be blurry. Growing up, people always say that I draw funny because I hold my pen like this, and I keep... It's hard to see. And I keep basically my whole arm and hand is on the page at the same time. So, and I just kind of stab into it just like this, and I'll curl my fingers up under myself. So basically, I got to be really careful all the time. So that's how I'm drawing. And I'll just kind of wrench my arm all around wherever I need to get it in there. And so that's kind of our spider, or Gwenum, nullified Gwenum base coat just for her upper body. She's got like a tongue thing coming off her waist there. And might kind of make some changes to her hood. We'll see. And then I'm going to kind of do anti-venom and then kind of go through the middle here and work all this base coat, and then kind of go back onto the top and then just start again and go over with the second coat, and then by the time I do my third coat, we'll be done. It's incredible. Thank you, Cliff. Appreciate that, bro. I almost forgot to put a swirl on his head up here. I don't want to forget to do that.
You're seeing the man behind the curtain. Right, you know? Right. Now I'm starting to get into it. I wasn't into it when it first came out. I wasn't like, here and stuff like that. I don't get into that kind of stuff. Yeah. But for those who don't know, a mysterious monolith, which is who's reporting on this? The Daily News. BLM Utah. Black Lives Matter. Utah? No, that's the Bureau of Land Management. They might want to sue. Yeah, right? I bet they were first. This is it's the whole WWF situation. Yeah, right. It's a real World Wildlife versus World Wrestling Federation situation. Yeah. And I think they could win. Just because BLM has a higher profile, or Black Lives Matter has a higher profile, doesn't mean these guys can get their copyright. And you know copyright protects the children. Like, hey, this is John calling from BLM Utah. I just wanted to, yeah. Wait, the which BLM? Our chapter in Utah. We have a chapter there. Well, this 12-foot steel monolith appeared in Utah and then disappeared. You know, people thought it was like aliens or something, but I don't really know what people necessarily thought. Visitors who fought this site parked on vegetation.
Okay, anti-venom's on this corner. Anti-venom's on the same side as the girls. Ha ha, he's a girl.
And all the time they're like, you can shoot. Oh, not bad.
Wait a minute, I want to do his black part of his face first. Oh, no, he doesn't get to have eyes, that's right. I almost did his eyes. My favorite part about doing anti-venom is his eyes. Take it away from me.
Well, I can understand it showing up and people being like, whoa, where'd that come from? But once it becomes a pop culture phenomenon in the zeitgeist,
So I can still do his mouth, alright.
You know what I mean? It wasn't the aliens that came down and like,
I just fucking botched that so hard, dude. Man, this cover's really easy to paint on. It does not give me really a hard time at all with anything. It's nice. I like this cover. It's nice. Watched it. All better.
Okay, if that happens,
Watched it again. Forgot to clean my brush. Just screw up left and right. It's not a brush, it's a pen.
all the time into like putting this monolith in the desert, which they got a lot of attention, but it could have been just nothing. Right. Or the people who want to go visit it, the people who fucking hate it, left their shit there. Yeah, like, I don't know, man, to me, just hearing, like, I'm one of those people where it's like, besides sports, whatever everyone's talking about, I don't want to talk about. Well, dude, that's what, like, I get so annoyed by the people who get up, about me talking about sports. Like, it's like, do you want me to be, like, talking about conspiracy theories and, like, super, I mean, like, I don't know, it's just, it seems, sports seems so innocent to me. It doesn't seem polarizing in any way. I just don't understand the hate for it. Well, I think if you say in general you're going to talk about sports, it could be annoying, but you have a unique So, yes, here, I just wanted to clarify before people get up in arms and make an apology and think about my definition of monolith. It is a geographical feature consisting of a single massive stone or rock. All right, you convinced me. Get the corner, Doc. Well, so do you, Doc. Go, guys. No, but it's like, I don't want to talk about like aliens and shit. I mean, are you into that kind of people? I mean, I don't not necessarily think it, but I'm not going to sit there and go like, oh, this guy is talking about aliens like that. You know what I'm saying? I think aliens have become more interesting since the government's come out and been like, we've gotten aircraft that are not of this earth. That like opens up a little, but it's one of those things where, you know, my dad always used to watch, we just talk about sports or whatever. Like my dad used
What
to
do you
watch
guys think about those
pre-games, like
UFOs that the government has,
or
or that the, let's see, what was it, the Pentagon and the Navy both verified some photos or some videos of some objects that are flying in ways that could only be described as a UFO. You seen this? You heard about this? It's basically the biggest news of the year, and nobody really seems to talk about it very much. That is cooler.
But then it became, you know, television and everything else became more reality based. So then you have like
We'll talk way more about like what's on Survivor.
and I would be like, I didn't get anything else. Like same with those ghost shows, like all of a sudden you hear like a can on the ground, you're like, you're like running through some dark hallway. Like this isn't doing I'm not like thinking. Right, and even more so, you know, I thought we were gonna talk about this, but like I hate that like ghost hunting show, but what I became obsessed with for a long time was watching on like what is it, IGTV, that station that shows all the like murder ID Go or whatever it is. And I got obsessed with a show that was all about like CCTV footage. Okay. So there would be a murder and they couldn't figure it out and they're asking every way they can. They're like, oh, there's a camera, and they're like, oh, well, there's a camera, and they put the stuff together. And I remember, you know, I'm obviously an addict and I fucking dive into things. I remember when I first found it, I watched 40 episodes in like 5 days or whatever, and I remember getting into
I know all about the UFO news, and I think the majority of the public accepted the phenomenon long ago. Oh, well, I suppose so. It's probably true.
An Uber with like an open knife in my like hoodie
But I don't think the public fully understands the magnitude of the evidence that they revealed then. But that's a good point, just from like the mindset of the masses. I think that's probably correct. This is like unparalleled evidence, like nowhere near anything. Very few things have ever come near this magnitude of insanity. I think that they're man-made. I don't think that they're aliens. It's kind of interesting to believe that they're aliens. I get it, but it's, come on. Come on.
In California, yeah, I remember. I don't think this is very strange. It just felt like a guy ran through the side of me, especially being from New York City. I was like, I've only seen this in movies. Like, I've never seen a fucking pickup truck with those people in the back of my whole life. Oh, that's true. Oh my, dude, there's so many things that growing up in New York City. You don't drive, do you? I have a license, but I don't like to drive.
That and sheer ignorance. I remember when we decoded the genome and the public basically ignored the news. Well, that's boring, Jonathan. That's different. That's insanely boring. Decoding the genome. Come on, this is UFOs, man. This is every man's dream to talk about that. I don't know. I don't know what people want anymore. I never knew.
I wake up and my fucking
I never knew what people
was like, hey, we're here. And I was like, where? And my friends were like, we're in Vegas. Remember we told you we're coming to Vegas? I was, oh my god, that's one of my best friends are coming to Vegas. And I was partying so hard that I just spaced it. And I was like, so now I'm like, oh my god. So I have my friend driving to fucking
most people have zero clue the power that it wields. Well, the human genome, sure. Of course, you could clone people now. Nobody talks about that. You can clone people in like your backyard if you're clever enough. Got some sweet tech.
80 miles an hour on the fucking freeway or highway, whatever the fuck. And yeah, ever since then, I was like, I shouldn't drive. Yeah. Because I get behind the wheel and instantly I start to go back to that time. I also do not drive because I can't see. But also, there's a multi-pronged reason why I don't drive. I also got so many tickets and registration, all the things. Like I was poor and I couldn't fix my car, and basically just like cascading problems occur, and they would pile up, and my license would get suspended, and I would get pulled over with my license multiple times. And so all of that, even if I could see 2020, I think would prevent me from driving, based off the fact that I just like I suck at it. I don't deserve to do it, and I'm bad at it, and I shouldn't do it, and so I just told myself when I moved here, I was like, and my car. The number one problem with driving is there's so many people like you who just go, I'm gonna do it anyway. Right. And they're all fucking out there, and they're all, and like what I think about all the time why another reason I don't drive for the next few years, because there have been times when we did this first when I did the first YMH, it was like for a long time I was like, oh, I want to get an Uber, yeah, I rented a car and it's still here. That's how much of a pain. I was like, fuck it, I'm renting a car and whatever. And I forget what I was gonna say about it. Oh no, but what I think that freaks me out is like, oh, by the way, like Christina's TikTok. Well, you know what those people all do when they're done making their TikTok? They get in their car and drive away. Oh, sure. You know, like the dumbest people you've ever met, they all have like 1,000-pound vehicles flying at 70 fucking miles an hour. That's what really, I mean, like, I guess I'm exposing like friggin' honorable I am here, but
We're living in a simulation, my boy. Elon has finally convinced me. I guess mathematics say there's just above a 75% chance that we're actually alive. Actually, I ran the numbers on it. I got better grades than Elon back in school, but when I ran the numbers on it, I came to the conclusion that there's a 49 point infinitely repeating 9% chance that we are not living in a simulation, and there's a 50.0 infinitely repeating 1% chance that we are living in a simulation, because we don't have enough. So statistics are based on data, right? So like we don't have enough data, so that brings it down to a 50-50, because the data could sway either way at this point unless we get more sure of ourselves. So you go down to 50%, and then the only thing that adds the infinitesimal chance of it being more likely that we're in a simulation is that if it is possible that you could create a computer, if it is possible that within a universe like ours, a computer or something could be created that would have enough power to basically create another universe within it, which is the claim that you could simulate a universe within a computer or something like that. If that was possible, if that was within the rules of our universe, which it very well may not be, then the chances of our universe being the prime origin universe that is not a simulation, right? Because it has to go back to the original universe that is not a simulation to create the universes that are simulations. That doesn't actually solve anything. If you say our world is just a simulation, great. So who made the original universe that created our universe, right? Who made the simulation? It doesn't actually answer any questions. You're just appeasing yourself with a fanciful answer that we're in the Matrix or some shit. And it's like, first of all, no, we're not. Second of all, for the reasons I just explained, I find that incorrigible and adorable. But maybe that's true. Maybe we are in a simulation. You never know. You never know. Alright, I got exactly what I wanted out of his mouth, which is a weird thing to say, but I did.
Is it legal to fly from like Vegas to LA with the way that LAX policy is, at least they find, you know, it's obviously a certain amount threshold. Right. If they find weed or whatever, edibles or something, they're not going to take it. They just say, when you land, we're not responsible. Like, you can't, if you get arrested in the place that you're going for having these things, you can't go LAX as a, right. You have to follow the law. Right. So, I mean,
I want to know where he gets 75%. That's hilarious. Like my thought experiment is like hilarious and adorable, and like his thought experiment, though more professional, it probably is. I mean, how is that not adorable? 75% chance. It's precious. Where do you get that? What gives you the balls to even state such a thing? It's almost on the level of religion where they're like, oh, we know what happens after you die. It's like, who gave you the balls to say that?
I'm an actor. I'm doing a scene right now. Yeah, this isn't funny.
Who gave you the cojones?
We're workshopping something. Yeah. This is all hypothetical. Right. So now you buy, wherever you are, you buy candles.
I was honestly just teasing, but the math is even alarming with your results, eh? Well, remember, my results are dictated by a lack of data, so you're only terrified by the shadow that is your own terror, if you follow my equation. So anything's possible. I don't care. I didn't create this place. I have no bearing or reckoning on it except for what I do with my own personal life. But if God comes in and fucks with my art, I'd be really pissed about it. Let's just put it that way. So that's my way of saying I have no control, and it's not really for me to worry about. I don't think. Maybe it is, but I fucking doubt it. I hope not. I'd be so pissed if I have to worry about that. I was about to. Oh, yeah, right there. Over there and laser beam his ass. Christ gave them balls. Yeah, I know, right? That's pretty fun. My good friend Brigham Young. So now we got our little anti-venom in there. And gotta make sure he covers up that barcode as best I can. And we're kind of moving along quite well, and I think that this is going to be a sweet scene. Man, I love that Thor. I love his hair is kind of whipping in the wind there. Threw some black streaks in there like he's got tendrils kind of growing in his hair. I just like that costume design. He looks fucking sweet, man. He looks cool. I'm even go in there with my little teeny tiny pen, make him like the nicest character of the bunch. Just kidding. But I will try to make him better. Give him nicer chainmail.
$200 for a lot of Amsterdam weed. That's hilarious. Yeah. I was going to Pittsburgh, and I had weed in my bag, and I noticed he was on like, oh yeah, for the night watch. So the guy takes my bag, he goes, can I inspect your bag? And I'm like, okay. And he's going through my backpack, and he's poking that thing that sticks down in it and shit. And I'm like, my bag reeks. I remember when I packed my bag, I go, oh, it smells. Good thing they're not going to open it. And how did you have it hidden in there? It was, what I did was I put it in a tissue, and then I put that in a sock, and then I put the sock in my jeans, because it's all green on the X-ray. Yeah. It's all textile. And so, as long as you don't have any like foil or any foreign material, again, all hypothetical, but in this occasion, so he's poking around, and I'm like, you can smell it, whatever you think is weed. I go, hey, may I ask what you're looking for? We got to help you. It seemed like he was like really looking, and I wanted to see if he could believe that he was. He goes, looking for something up here. And he points to like my top pocket where I know the weed is. And I go, oh, okay, yeah, here, that's that zipper right there. And I pointed to it, and he opened it. He goes, took out my deodorant. He's like, see, can't have over 3.5 ounces of this spray deodorant. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ.
For letting me know that you keep that. Yeah, sorry about that. Just can't have liquid soap with 3.5 ounces. I get my backpack and I immediately go to the bathroom. thought we were both gonna get bigger.
Yep, anyhow, well, this show's canceled.
Fucking airport.
This show's also canceled for many reasons, but before we go, Rob, why don't you give some plugs if you have anything that you want to mention?
Yeah, it's the Jonathan podcast.
Wow, I cannot believe I've been painting for 40 minutes. I did not feel like that.
Wherever you get your podcast, and thanks for having me. I feel like a real. I was like everybody's, oh, you're a mommy now, you're a mommy now, and I was like, but I'm not, because I haven't been in this part of the studio, so I was gonna just get some random chick pregnant, so Christina P would have me on where her mom's at.
I thought you were going to say for Dr. Drew.
Right. Yeah, well, believe me, I'm qualified. So Dr. Drew. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just thanks for having me. Man. It's great.
Dude, thank you so much for doing it. Big fan, and I'm, you know, at the game because you are one. So that's also very serendipitous in that way. As far as my plugs go, I don't have any dates to look forward to until March 21st, and that is at the West Palm Beach Improv. And I don't even know if those tickets are on sale yet, but I'm just letting you know because that's all I got. So please come to it if you're in that area around that time. And other than that,
Dude, the Silver Surfer would look badass nullified. I wish I could do a big portrait of him because he would just look like the Silver Surfer but with a red swirl on his face and just a red emblem, and that's it. Just nothing else. I'm telling you, man, that would look fucking dope. He would look like a whole new guy. Because he's so basic, he's not very distinctive. It'd be like, who is this motherfucker? He looks fucking badass. Unless he's riding a surfboard, in which case, obviously, you'd be like, oh, well, I know who that is. But in the case that he did not keep riding his surfboard.
What's wrong, why are you laughing?
I said don't mention the instrumental, so I was going to replace it.
Oh, I didn't see the word don't. I just saw mention the instrumental. All right, well.
By the way, Tom knew I was coming here, and he asked me to search the dog set for possible voodoo dolls or
Oh, yeah, well.
anything of these sorts.
Yeah,
There's some suspicion in.
bit of an accident. You heard? I'm sure you'll hear about it tomorrow. Anywho, there we go. Let instrumental cease, and so is the show. So thank you so much for joining us once again on the Josh Potter Show. Please continue to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. That's a huge help.
Did not like the veins I put down for this Hulk, so we're going to turn back green. Just give him the chest. I see Christ did, because even if you take the historical man being Jesus of Nazareth and submit the idea that he was a crazy fanatic,
Well, now you know if you ever wanted to mention something, what you have to do.
Christ, the Old Testament God crucified, he'll live, Father, forgive him.
Don't mention this.
You
Don't
know,
say don't mention things. I won't do it.
Yeah.
So what's this going to be a giant beef or something?
I have no idea. I
Cross and
think
some
we
stuff,
should call
something
it.
hurts,
I
blood,
mean, who cares? It's gonna be like,
using those proper
name
means,
this instrumental?
by selling blood.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. But, I like Jesus.
Why would you write don't?
Clayton is a Jesus guy. I live my life just like a Christian. I think that Jesus is cool. I hope that Jesus is real. But I just don't see any evidence of that. I'm sure lots of people were real-life Jesuses who really, really did get crucified. That was really a thing that was happening pretty often. So that archetype, I think, became Jesus. And Jesus was a few guys. But, you know, there was definitely real-life Jesus. But I would love for Jesus to be real. And I'm agnostic towards that. That would be very cool. But, just not playing for that team just yet. I told Clayton if he performs one more miracle, then I'll believe that Jesus is real. Which is blasphemous, right? So it's kind of a joke.
Anyways, I have a huge announcement. After 15 years together with this man next to me, my dear husband, baby daddy, Aranola, I have never had a conversation with him while he's in Twitter with them. I have many times tried to talk to him through the door,
God until he was 30, crucified at 33. It's a lot of work to accomplish. Dude, let's talk about his lost years, right? From what age? For like 5 or 10 years or something, he was, or no, it was more than that, right? It was like 15 years he was missing. Also, when I mentioned that I left Thor in the background, it didn't go into why the I didn't go into why other than how badass he looks already. I don't fully understand what you mean by that, but like Jesus' lost years, dude. I think that he went to Egypt, and he laid in a coffin, and he was inducted into their mystery stuff. And he became a priest with them. And then he came back and he taught people some of the things that he liked about it. That may or may not be true, but that's just what I think would be really cool. I think that makes a lot of sense as to where he went. Because that's supposedly what the Great Pyramid of Giza is, right? It's a giant temple that they would just worship. And they would bring new priests in to join the priesthood, and they would force them into that. Not force them, but they would, in order to do it, you have to go into the coffin and lay there for 3 days and 3 nights, and if you survive, then you get to join their priesthood, and it would basically drive you insane. And most guys like masturbate in there or whatever, and everybody makes fun of them when they come out. And then that's kind of where the Skull and Bones gets their fun little game they made up. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Jonathan? I think it would be really awesome to have all these awesome characters going on. So I think it would be really awesome to have all these awesome characters going on in the foreground where people are like, holy shit, look at all these badass characters, and then they can look in the background and say, holy shit, look at the detail of that Thor. It's so cool that he's a smaller character that can share what's in the show. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he looks great. I just kind of did a little bit of stuff on his hammer back there, so now his hammer's got like a blue tinge to it. Should really go over that with some white paint and brighten it up, actually, before I forget. Shouldn't really be any darkness on his hammer because it's all basically made of fucking lightning right now. Thor's a bit of a Jesus, isn't he? He's more of an alignment with Zeus, but he's similar in a few ways. Odin was crucified on a tree to become the father of the universe, so very, very similar to Jesus in that regard. I'll just say that the Skull and Bones are an elitist group tied to the Freemasons. Ah, so that's the rich kids in your group jerked off in the coffin. And they didn't leave them in there for 3 days because they're not freaking Egyptian priests, okay? They're rich kids. They just do it as a joke. It's kind of a reference to the old times.
That's not a movie we watched last week. I'm thinking of like Iceland. What movie did we watch? An adult film.
Adult feature film.
Smart, business savvy women to get yours. And we've endorsed it before on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I really gotta say, if you're
Now let's do like Peter Parker.
old man begging you, if you get something in exchange, I think it's a great idea.
Also a reference to the 3 degrees of masonry. Ah. Well, you know, they all get that stuff from each other, I guess. I appreciate all those mystery teachings and stuff. I just don't intend on paying money for it, I guess. I don't know. I think I was pre-installed with all that information. When I was a little kid, I had a lot of ideas about the world and morality and what's right and what's wrong and all that stuff, as many kids do. But like, my ideas as I got older were changed and skewed by the people around me, and I became, you know, like, oh, well, maybe things aren't that way. And then as I got older and older, I realized, no, I was correct. When, as a little kid, as a 3- and 4-year-old kid, I remember I would have emotions and feelings that were very much instructive. They would tell me how to live and what was right and what's wrong. And like, pretty sure I was kind of installed with that stuff. Like, I don't need mystery schools to teach me anything. Sure, it would be helpful to get ahead, but that's the world of Satan, right? You don't need any of that stuff. The only thing that matters is your heart. And I think that sometimes the people in those groups aren't playing for the right side of the team. You know, they're just playing. You could say that. They're just playing. Which is fine. I mean, everybody does that. I play around in life too, you know. I don't take shit seriously, but I just don't need any extra shit. I try to take shit really seriously. I really do. I really do. Do you remember me telling you that I went to college and took astrophysics for a semester and then dropped out of the University of Maryland? And then dropped out at the University of Maryland, College Park, while on college drop in the Army. I vaguely remember this, yes. Let me guess, your teacher was a Freemason, and he got you into it, and he well, he won't tell you how many people he's recruited, maybe. You'll never know. Taught you about the stars, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the masculine, the feminine, and the God, the untouchable, the Elohim. Do you think that Saturn was a brown dwarf, and that the universe, or the solar system used to kind of revolve around Saturn? I like that idea. That's a cool idea. There's an equation that I think you would find interesting. I would love to explain it quickly in regards to the UFOs and have recent Pentagon releases, if true, big if true, have proven me wrong on a paper I wrote around that equation. So the Drake equation says that the probability of life exists is represented by P equals the following. So let's see. I think I know all that stuff, but tell me, what is the Drake equation? The Drake equation. Let's see. Let me search my memory banks for that. What is the Drake equation? That's where, like, the probability of life existing in the universe. I don't know. It's like it assures that there must be other life in the universe, right? That's the bottom line. I would say that. Well, actually, I want her closet open, closet out.
walking through the city and like, he's behind me. You know, like I
Yes, I don't know.
patio
Can't remember.
and he's like, what's that for you? And I'm like, cool, like the her side is cool. And then it's like, oh, I want, you know, this other silly thing. Yeah, sure. Here you go. And I didn't like him. Like as the date wore on, I was kind of like, I don't think this is really me. I'm trying this on. This isn't me. And like, I remember the gross feeling when he walked me back to my hotel of like, ooh, he bought me this stuff.
Right, like the exchange.
Yeah, and I.
It's gonna get hard because I'm ready to come.
Yeah, and I remember.
Probability of life existing elsewhere is divided by the Fathian, the function. The what? Function of planet. By the Fathian, the planets are born in the solar system. The configuration, you mean, divided by the number. Divided by the number of habitable planets that exist in the solar system, divided by the function that life exists on a habitable planet. Simple life divided by evolves into intelligent life, thus not chance divided by the function that intelligent life attempts to understand communications. See, that's all bullcrap, though. There's no way that he would know any of that. That's all based on extrapolation, which is okay, but you gotta understand that there's no way that it's accurate. The only thing that you know about that equation is that it's inaccurate because we don't have enough data. It's a 50-50 outcome that works itself out to nearly impossible value, similarly nearly 0.0 repeating, and then 1. However, due to mathematics, eventually you will add up with a near infinite number function. Okay. So, you know, I don't think I've ever heard that before, but yeah, I mean, it's possible, but that just, like, 500 billion years? Like, where do you get these numbers, you know? It's like, it's kind of like Richard Dawkins and his assessment of the universe. It's like, where the fuck do you get off making up these numbers? Like, I get that some scientist gave you those numbers and you're getting them from like a lab or a study or it's been written in a fucking scientific journal somewhere. It's really not relevant. I don't care. It's not. People are so stupid. It's unbelievable the things that people will believe. It's like, we have no idea what the world is like out there. We have 0.0 infinitely repeating percent knowledge on the environment around us, and then we use that to extrapolate outward and make assumptions about life in general, or nature, or the universe, or really anything. Really anything. We're probably wrong. So, that's my belief, is that like we should just like go ahead and speculate. Like, I love speculating. That's my favorite thing to do, is being like, well, what if there is life out there? What is that like? You know, what's God like? What's the nature of things? But to say that to start writing down numbers and then be like, well, this is that, and that is this, and this is that. It's like, you better be fucking sure, dude. You better be so sure, because if you're not, I don't know. I'm not saying like you're gonna go to hell or whatever, but you might create hell for yourself. You might create a serious hell for yourself. Because like, some people don't believe in God, you know. Some people only believe in science, and it's like, I'm kind of one of those people, but how could you think that this universe is anything short of magic? Absolute, pure, unadulterated, insane magic. Like, it makes comic books look like fucking bullshit, which they are, obviously. Comics are just bullshit. But like, the magic that exists inside the universe is like not to be fucked with. It's the only real magic that's there. And the idea that there's other people out there, I love it. I hope that's true. That'd be very cool. But we are Africa. Also, Austin, you should look up the sucker theory if you aren't familiar with it. Sucker? I don't understand. Never heard it. I think it's fairly solid, and I wouldn't be surprised someday if it's true. It's so new, it's hard to find information on it, but you would love it. Its core foundation to give you the gist of it is that suns do not emit light, nor do light bulbs. They eat darkness. Oh, that's fascinating. Let's ponder that. Which is why eventually they fail, and also why they don't brighten any more of the universe that they should. And instead are eating up as much darkness as possible. It's possible, but that makes less sense to me, because think about when a light explodes or the sun explodes, is it illuminates a large area and it's no longer there. It's only the light. So I don't think that it's eating darkness, because that would require something to consume the darkness. So if it can still function even after its destruction, function being to provide light even if it's for a brief moment, then that light in that brief moment is the smoking gun that proves that it must be there in order to, or rather, it doesn't have to be there in order to quote-unquote consume the darkness. So it's possible, because it's like, well, we don't know what the stars are. Maybe that is one of their functions, is that they like do, I don't know, it's hard to describe what we're talking about, but do that thing that we're trying to explain. It's like, it's possible, but it just makes less sense to me. But like I said, man, anything's fucking possible. I don't claim to know anything about the universe. I get so mad when people do, though. It's like, don't ever take anything I say personally against you, because like I just get fired up in general when I think about like people who claim to know what happens after you die. I guess it's the only way to really put that, because I feel like it's like that's like one of the biggest crimes against humanity, and that sounds harsh, but I'm not fucking man. It's pretty bad. But we are Africa. Yeah, Google that and see if I can find a video to put on in my background here. I tend to study many theories and subscribe to one that I think of as fact through faith. Well, no, that's fine. I don't mind what anyone else thinks or anything. It's just I will sometimes say rude things about it without thinking about it. Sucker theory or sector theory? Because sucker doesn't come up with anything on Google.
There I was, about to launch my nonprofit, and someone asked about our branding and color. I was an artist.
Nope. What is cognitive dissonance? That's what it says here when I Google the sucker theory. Which obliterates my scientific mind at times. Also back to simulation theory, real quick, sir. Have you ever seen the movie Waking Life? No, I have not. What's that about?
It's very brown. Very brown.
And did they
It gets a
find
little more clear as it goes along.
did they find any items in your colon? For instance, they look and they go, oh, there's a lot of seeds in here. You've been eating a lot of
No.
oranges,
No.
watermelons.
I asked him, I go, I was a little nervous because even like an hour before I went in, at the place, I sat down on the toilet and water still was coming out of me. This is like right before, and I was like, oh man, like I followed the instructions to a T. I fasted completely the day before. Thank God I read the details on what I was allowed to drink. So I bought juices and Gatorade because he was like, you can have juice and Gatorade and water the day before. I was like, okay, and I bought a bunch. And then on the instructions, right before I was about to start drinking Gatorade, it's like only drink lime Gatorade.
What?
Because if you drink red or purple, it could read as blood to us during the colonoscopy.
Oh, that would be bad.
And they'll be like, you're bleeding in your bowel. So right, I was like, oh man, because I actually bought a few different. So I was like, thank God I read this right. But anyways, I started just. I mean, I was going to because I was losing so much fluid.
It's sucker theory, but it's nearly impossible to find on the web yet. I've been reading it in studies from different schools. Waking life is, well, school studies should show up on Google, right? Waking life is about how when we die 99.9% of the time, science has proven that there is roughly 8 to 12 minutes left of electricity in our brain. Really? I heard there was 8 seconds of electricity. You're saying minutes? I heard it was seconds.
And when you were done,
Minutes
did
seems...
you feel lighter? Did you feel different?
Here's the thing. I went an
long time
period without eating or drinking because
yeah, it's fascinating.
Initially, I was going to have
a spark of life, huh? Where does that come from?
You do the fast and you try to go first thing in the
Where does
morning.
electricity come from? Huh?
So I ended up
Smart pants? Explain that.
How long did I go? I went 36 hours for a fast, which is pretty, if you're not used to it.
Explain.
You know, like, geez,
Explain yourself.
I think I told you, I felt like...
just kidding. You don't have to
I
explain
felt like mental clarity, and I felt thankful
just joshing.
that I don't have to fast all the time. Which I think is good.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, okay, 8, 12 seconds, right, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I actually thought about that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I don't
I believe that.
fast, except for this procedure. But anyways,
hours. They fast from sun up till sundown. And you can eat that meal iftar when you break your fast at night. It's terrible. It's very hot too. I'm serious. It's terrible. I always felt when I was in the Middle East during Ramadan, I felt really bad for them because no liquid and it's the desert and it's summer. It's like 120 degrees.
That's good. Well, Bert, the thing is that there's different cultures and they do things differently around the world.
I know, but it's terrible.
Okay.
It's really hard. I couldn't do it.
Check this out.
You gotta spit on the floor.
You get some help? Yeah, I just told you. I mean, I'm not going to get you Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Oh, well, electricity is energy. I can tell you that energy is infinite. No, I said, where does it come from? I didn't say, what is it? I know it's energy. Mother ding dong.
I'm not going to go get you Dr. Pepper. Okay. Well, you're a public servant. I thought it might be.
I'm watching this video. Hold on.
You're the one who asked me if you could help me, though. Yeah, I did. Okay. If you don't want to help me, then don't ask. That's fine.
If you're listening, this is a man telling a police officer.
It's always in state of potential or kinetic energy. However, electricity is not the same electricity in the body. No. I was just asking a joke. There's a rhetorical question. I said, where does energy come from? Like, it's essentially saying, like, where does the universe come from, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a little extra. You can get yourself a drink too. Really? Yeah. Grab yourself a drink too. You like Dr. Pepper? Yeah, but I don't need them as bad as it is. Look at me. Okay? No, don't be trying to give me money on that. I'm not going to go pick you up a Dr. Pepper. Okay?
I mean, this guy is such an asshole. The guy asking. Because I feel like that cop is actually extra nice.
I mean, he made a joke.
You could get the wrong cop and ask that kid and have your fucking day, maybe your life.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like over. But yeah, there is a point also where he definitely considers. He was like, for real?
He looked down. He
was like.
And then he goes, nah, I'm too fat already. Like he had reason through.
For real?
Great.
He also was like, you're gonna buy me.
Oh, sorry, I was watching a video.
He thought about that. It was almost
All
like
the elements in our body cause electricity. Our cells, neurons,
kind of all comes
Well,
together.
Tom, everybody
I'm
likes
not
free.
asking what is electricity though.
Everybody likes free. Could you imagine though being a comic?
Oh, you're saying where does it come from? That's how it works.
He was trying to be nice.
Right, but yeah, but like, what is the origin of electricity? What is the origin of magnetism? What is the ATP that breaks down, you know, carbohydrates and sugar and creates, you know, the building blocks of our body? And where does that energy come from? How does ATP work? You know, it's like no one could ever will ever answer these questions. What about the bubbling ocean that spawned the amino acids that eventually turned into DNA? Where does that come from? You know, it's like if your answer is God, it's not sufficient. It's just not. It's like it's obvious. But then people use that and then they say, well, if it's obvious, then you must believe in my God. And then they like go on about their God. And it's like, come on. Come on, bro.
How is it funny? Because it's like comical. It's like a cartoon. Like you know, it's
Yeah, but the other person died. And
that's not funny.
Everywhere.
That's not funny.
It's like I grew up with Mormons on one side of the family, so I just grew up in a place where people are constantly trying to bullshit me, constantly trying to say, well, God believes this.
It actually looks like a cartoon.
And
this is what happens after you die, and then they'll tell you some absolutely crazy shit. And it's like, it's like you just realize over time people are crazy. That's what it is. That's what we're dealing with here. People are crazy, and they want to know what's going on. They bleed to know what's going on. They live to know. They live to want to think they know what it is. This world is. Truth is we will never know. We will never know. From the sun. Yeah, bro. You just keep naming the next thing down the line. I get it, but where does the universe come from? Is what I'm saying. And your only answer could be God. Eeks. Eeky, eek. That looks sad. I didn't like that. I just watched somebody do some amateur neck cracking. That was not cool. That person looked like they got hurt. Come from, say, gravity first. Yeah, but where does the gravity electromagnetism come from?
Right, because now you know how to do it.
Followed by some dimension. See, we're already in the place where we're just making things up. We're just extrapolating based on our absolutely zero. We have zero data on any of this. You're just going based off things that you've read online. Oh, brutal. I can't watch that. In the end, God and science will be more familiar than anyone knows. Sure. Well, they're the same thing. Don't even get me started on Mormons. Yeah, South Park fucking nailed it. That's true. But who am I to say that the Mormons are more crazy than believing that the Indians? Yeah. No, exactly. It's like anybody could be right, and everybody's got a very, very interesting story. Everyone. So it's like, and everyone thinks that they're the ones who are correct.
I just can't believe how pleased he is with himself.
But just based on our lack of evidence, the only thing that we know is that we don't know anything. So that's the only solace that I can enjoy, unfortunately. It's the life I'm doomed to live is just being unsure of what's going on. And people with faith, dude, people with faith seem so fucking happy. Like the Mormons. I was in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, I believe, is exactly how they describe it in being paradise. That place is beautiful. That place, I've been all over the country a couple times now. Salt Lake City is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in America. Absolutely beautiful. Everyone there is happy. Everyone there has a dumbass smile plastered on their dumb little fat faces. I'm not shitting you. It's the most delicious restaurant, like Denny's type thing. It was like a local Denny's type of diner. It's called like Don's Diner or whatever. Holy shit, that was some good food, man. Everyone there is just having the time of their life. Everyone there is very talented and young, and Those fucking Mormons, man. I hate them.
Oh yeah, by the way, about the
It's just a joke.
I called my dad on
I don't hate anyone.
I go. Great. Do you have anything? Anything? No, not yet. Starting with
Oh, damn. Gravity comes from mass. It's proven fact, not theory. Oh, well, yeah, but you're missing my point. Jonathan, my point is, where does the idea, like, why doesn't gravity work backwards, you know? It's like, how does any of that work? It's all the same question as I'm just asking you, where did the universe come from, is that the answer to the question is the question, where did the universe come from? That's what I'm asking. There's evidence on that, brother. Yeah, I'm sure that evidence is rooted in reality. It's not rooted in La La Land, where these scientists live. Get in this shuttle or the ISS. Yeah, let me do that. It's not, you know that will never happen for you or me, or anyone that we know. The only people that are allowed on space shuttles are people who are raised to do that from, like, basically you have to be born into the right family to do it. Like, they won't let normal people do that. It's called thrust vectors, process thrust in the name of gravity. I know, bro, you don't have to explain gravity. I got it. I think you're missing my point.
Early, it wasn't a normal. It was just like slop, but it was like somebody turning the machine back. You know what I mean? Wow.
I know that. Let me put it this way, bro. Like, we don't have to get complicated with it. Let's bring it down to a very, very, very simple thing. So let's look at the evidence. 2 + 2 = 4. So I would say that's fine. Where do numbers come from? And then you would say numbers come from counting. Numbers are necessary. You know, the digits on our hands, the stars in the sky. We start counting these things. And I would say, stop. No, I'm saying, where do numbers come from? It's me. I'm essentially asking, where does the universe come from? It's not, but you keep bringing it in a different direction. Right, there is no answer to my question, which is why you keep avoiding it. Where does energy, electricity come from? Like, what is it formed of? No, I'm not asking that. That is not what I'm asking. You've got that on lock. I got you.
This was the dominant environmental reality.
No, I'm literally asking you an impossible question, which is why there is no answer to it. Which is exactly my point. There is no answer. So, it's precisely my point, my good sir. Now you see it. Now you see my point. Numbers come from our brains. Yeah, but where does... You're doing it again. Remember, I'm just using that as a branch to get to the bigger question. It's not, my question is not actually where do numbers come from. It's where does life originate from? Like, where does any of this originate from? There is no question, no answer to that. So that's fine. You know, we just got to learn to be comfortable with it. Just learn to just let it go. Let it go. That's probably the hardest thing for people to do, is to let that go.
They were like, I'll go. So that's...
And late in life, no? Did he get older?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he just, that's like what guys like that did. That.
Just saying there's no actual answer. That's right.
Yeah, so there's that, right? Like, it's part of the environment. And then it's that these types of
with that, I try to be okay with that.
Essentially, they're intellectual action movies. We love action movies.
There's human theory and formulas based off tools and languages, but nothing is in fact. Well, you know, science tells us that they're trying. They're really trying. And of course I believe they're trying. I follow the scientific method every day with everything I do in my life. I'm a hardcore science guy. The only thing is that, I'm hardcore science. Science tells us that everything we know is wrong, that we're trying every day to get closer to the truth, that truth, in millions and billions and trillions of years, still will not be achieved because that's just not how the truth works. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get the truth. You're going to have people who think that will tell you what they want you to think the truth is. That's what you're going to get in your search for the truth. And some people find that, and they're happy with it. There will never be the true truth. Maybe when we die we get that. But based on what I'm seeing, I fucking doubt it. I fucking doubt it, mate. Pretty sure once we die we just, just game keeps on rolling. Keeps on rolling. It's time.
There's that good stuff of America. We're fighting for democracy. We're fighting the red.
Yeah.
That's true. And shoot them up.
So that's
like the cause
fear and
about
present
it, too.
danger.
Yeah.
There's all these common plants. And then, oh, by the way, I gotta say this.
Some messages. As a Christian, I would say ultimately come from God. Great. Christian would probably say the same from my word about him. Yeah. So I really do hope that. So I really do hope he gets that one more perfect book. What does that mean? The one miracle that I talked about? No, his miracles are not his books. His miracles are other things. I can't even talk about it because it's truly incredible. It's one of those things where like say that you met God, like you wouldn't. It's one of those things that defies speech. I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to kiss Clayton's ass. I'm saying that because it's true. Because, Clayton's the closest thing to Jesus I've ever met in my life, and that's not just because he's a long hair. It's because he truly embodies it. Almost. He's like a fledgling. He's getting there. He's got to give away all his stuff and go on a quest to fight the government, and then once he does that, he's fucking close, bro. He's fucking close. He's real close to that, which is tight. I'll be the first one to sell all my shit and join up with him. Right? So it's not that I don't believe in Jesus. It's just that I'm like a story in a real life version of it. I don't need a book. I'm one of the apostles in the real life thing.
No, but I'll tell you this: if you like that sort of thing and you haven't gone on time to watch it, it's really good.
Yeah, he's great story.
He's great in the part, and it's really good characters, right?
You're going to get the truth after your consciousness ends, and nothing. Wait, what? You're going to get the truth after your consciousness ends, and nothing is there, and you have no use for it, let alone not even the knowledge that you've gotten the truth, or when. Not even the knowledge you found the truth. When you're standing in heaven talking to God, saying, "Yep, guess they had it right," followed in from any amount of questions, I'm sure. Yeah, you're saying that one more miracle, right? Once he lets go, my famous Fight Club quote, "The things we own end up owning us." I'll join you guys and make soap. Yeah, for sure, man. That was a bit of a Jesus story, wasn't it? Fight Club. Never thought about it. So the thing about consciousness ending and then you see the truth, that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't believe in that stuff. I think that's a nice thought. I think that would be really cool. But I don't put my cards in that pile.
Every holiday, and there's a certain point where you're walking and don't you feel like you understand Hitler now? Like,
You understand it.
I think we all get it.
Have you seen enough Hitler stuff?
They love it.
And he's like,
No.
This battle, and then they revisit like this is the battle where because I mean you know all this. And then just
They love their Hitler. I know.
There, German, Paris.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have dinner soon. I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to.
You know, my dad loves to point out, because, like, by the way, that these people are nothing. Because Stalin killed more
that's a-
people than Hitler did.
Yeah.
He loves to point
People love to
out.
bring up the body count.
Yeah.
I've heard that from dads a lot.
Dads
They're
love to
like,
talk about
I
that.
don't know why you guys always bring up that.
Yeah, look, Stalin's the real star. No one talks about Stalin.
Hello.
I killed people too.
1 million. No one's even giving me any credit.
That's true, and I don't know why we don't talk as much. I guess
Matrix followed by Fight Club, I think, are two super hidden philosophical, never heard. Try to pronounce that 5 times fast. Philosophical. Philosophic, I think, is the correct word for that, right? Jesus, Christian-esque, particularly the Matrix technologies. Oh yeah, absolutely. How I think we even briefly talked about that, but how Agent Smith is actually Lucifer, and he is the one, and he was jacked into the Matrix, then the Matrix came to an end. There's a Catholic priest who has a really cool half-hour to hour is Catholic Christian religious tone. Catholicism, I believe, is satanic. Straight up. I think it's absolutely satanic. It's not a joke. I do believe in that. Because they took the word of Jesus and they distorted it. They killed Jesus. People say that the Jews killed Jesus. Close, but no cigar. It was actually the police, the Roman police.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big thing.
The Roman Catholic, who would eventually become a Roman Catholic 300 years after his crucifixion. And they just chose the religion. They just chose it. They're like, I like that one. Let's use that one. What do you think, guys? Council of Nicaea. Council of Nicaea and Constantine. They just made it up. Yeah, Jesus was probably a real guy, but I don't think they really gave a shit. And you would say, well, God chose them to promote his religion because God is all-powerful and he just wanted his religion to be popular. And I'd say, well, isn't that convenient? Because now you're believing the religion of a bunch of liars. Liars and murderers. Sick fucks. Philosophical. Yeah, I was having real trouble pronouncing that right. That's why I'm Protestant. See, I don't even know what that means, bro. I have no clue. Which you can argue is just a sect of Catholicism, yes, started by Constantine seeing it cross and one. Right, which is a convenient thing to claim, right? Hey, remember, bro, these people are fucking liars. People lie. Constantine was not chosen by God.
My grandmother, I got to ask her questions about stuff.
Constantine liked the blood. He liked the blood because it appealed to him. He wanted people to be scared and subservient and quiet and nice. And that's what Christianity brought him. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, Romans. Something.
I remember that day we were making lemonade. My grandmother and I were making lemonade. And I was like, so wait, you guys leave? She's like, yes, let's
That's a good one.
smell it in the air. Smell it, people burning. What could we do? What could we do?
Well, you certainly couldn't be like, I'd like to have a word with whoever's in charge.
Who's in charge? Like a group of Karens are gonna go and deal with the whole.
Are you guys being causing a ruckus within these walls?
I know, but yeah.
It feels kind of flippant though.
I can give you other examples. What about St. Joan of Arc? Well, she probably was schizophrenic, seeing, hearing voices, right? Yeah, she's probably schizophrenic. Or they just made her up. You know that literally anything older than about 100 years ago, we have records. Any records of anything that you read that's over 100 years old comes from either the eyewitness testament of one or more people, or it comes from legend, and that's it. There's no actual evidence that anything prior to 100 years ago really took place in the way that we understand evidence today. So it's very important to remember that. These are just stories. And yeah, there's like statues and records and effigies and all that stuff, but it doesn't do the whole job. You need to have better records.
And she'd be sitting at the kitchen table, and she would go, "Look, I am cool."
There's all kinds of. If you read old legends, people make up the craziest shit ever. Just because a Christian says it, I'm supposed to believe the Christian? It's like, what about the fucking the people in China who see demons every day? Or they hear voices. I'm not supposed to believe them, but I'm supposed to believe Joan of Arc. Come on, man.
You Americans are soft.
Well, Americans, this is America.
Did you know that your car may have remote start on it, operated through the key fob, and you didn't even know it? For example, let me show you on this Camry. So here's your Toyota Life Hack. So here's the trick.
Oh, no. I find that to be either a miracle or an insane person with amazing charisma for 15, but my religion has me thinking at first, so I'm blinded. I think you would say blinded, right? So it is blinding. Well, the thing about religion, the word religion, religos religare in Latin, is to bind. It's to hold something together, right? And it's supposed to be holding you to God, right? You want to be as close to God as you can, right? It's the closeness that makes religion. Yeah, it is blinding, but it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to really. You're just supposed to enjoy your God, and that's about it, right? Or just enjoy the life that God made for you, and everything else is to be ignored. So I understand it. God is the ultimate authority, and everything else is not. It's all fine. I mean, I just don't completely understand why.
And also, this guy definitely loves the husband. Like, there's not a chance in this world.
But why?
The real question, because it directly affects me, will this system work on a 2018 camper?
No, that's yours.
So,
let's see. We got one, two, hold down the third time. Are the lights flashing? Oh, they're starting to flash. They're starting to flash.
Yeah, he's a lot
A retard. This guy's freaking out.
How could you, like, how could you do...
This video's so fun.
How could you be that...
Sorry, Mr. Thing. History books that are changed every year by a new person over and over again, teaching new generation. Oh yeah, there's no way. Like I said with the theories we were discussing earlier, the only thing that we know about those theories, or about history, is that it is not accurate. It's probably close. It's probably really close. But it is not accurate. And we know that because we play a game of telephone with like 20 people, and people fuck shit up so fast, it's crazy. It is hilarious how bad we are at record keeping, or at least trying to remember what was said. I believe a Secret Service agent turned around and shot JFK in the head with his AR-15. Oh my god. Have you seen that documentary on Netflix? Where does that put me as a Christian who was not raised in a religious family? Nor do I attend church have I ever. I lack the binding. Why do you say that? But have the faith, I guess you would say the Bible is what binds any religion? Nothing, you tell me. You never let anyone tell you how bound you are to religion, bro. You should know exactly how bound you are to your religion. And if you don't, you know, I don't know. Religion is one of those things that's really, really personal. And like, I'm a spiritual person, and I definitely have the binding. I have the glue. But my beliefs are different. My beliefs are kind of weird. It would take me all day to explain what that means, really.
No one else is excited about it. Like, nobody else sees it. Like, you have that? Everybody's like, why the fuck do you have them?
Bro, you have the rare Step 2 brown children's chair?
Step 2 product. Well, it's the Fisher Price chair.
By the way, this looks like a home. It looks like he was like, well, we're gonna have to get rid of this. Rolling from a chair.
I'm fucking sick. Where's my binding? See, I do it and found it on. No, man, your binding is just your faith. So, if you have faith, that is your binding. You don't need. I don't know what you mean by what is your binding. You gotta tell me that, bro. I have no idea. You tell me what your binding is to your religion. Why are you bound to your religion? You should never have someone else tell you that.
That looks like a whole floor.
And it could be that we should be reading this video.
Yeah, but I really like our conversations, to be honest. They're great when they get philosophical like this. Yeah, I like this stuff. I don't think you are wrong, or I am right, since it's nice to talk on the level. Not really on the level, as you probably would perceive it, but yeah, I don't get offended by much at all. Like, I get fired up, but that's just because I get excited. And sometimes I say things that people think that I'm mad at them or something. Like, that's why I preface this whole conversation by saying, like, I might say things that sound like I'm criticizing your religion or something, but I'm really not. I'm just criticizing religion in general. And I hope that the people that I do that in front of have the ability to take that and not get too upset, which I'm sure you're one of those people, but I just try to preface conversations with that once in a while.
Whether you're camping in the woods or at a backyard get-together, there is nothing.
But yeah, I mean, maybe you're right about everything. I have no idea. All I'm saying is that we don't have evidence for anything, and to go around declaring that we have evidence might actually send you to hell if your rules are correct. If your rules are correct, you might go to hell for that. So I have no clue. I just don't. If God wants to send me to hell for not getting baptized or not following his rules or whatever, I don't want to be in his heaven anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure I got it figured out. Me and God are cool. Me and God are cool. You don't have to worry about my soul or anything. Some people do. Some people really do. I've heard that before. And I'm like, come on. I'm gonna be fine, guys. Do you really think I'm gonna go to hell? And they're like, yes. Okay, well, I will see you there. Because if I'm going to hell, then you're fucking. You suck way worse than me. I'm just kidding. I never said that to anybody. Never said that.
This episode of the Mouse House is brought to you by
Sometimes I want to say stuff like that. On the level does have a Masonic meaning, but it merely mirrors what I mean. We are talking on the level as neither of us knows or cares about our levels of formal and informal education. This is just spitballing thoughts at each other on an even playing field. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like a flare playing field. Flare playing field.
Stamps.com brings the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer. You do not have time for the busy chaos that will be out there. Do it with Stamps.com. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for stamps.com instead.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than to have faith.
Our promo code MOM, you get a special
Absolutely beautiful. I'm very close. I do have faith, but it's just not the kind of faith that, like, say, a Mormon has, or someone who believes in that, something like that. That'd be badass.
Never go to the post office again. Guys, thank God 2020 is coming to an end. Start thinking about
Yeah.
your resolutions for the new
Sweet.
year.
Dinner's ready, so.
It's measuring, tracking, quantifying behavioral changes. You guys know I'm no joke with this thing. This thing never leaves my side. I wear this on my arm when I sleep, when I work out, when I visit my dominatrix.
Okay, man, I'm going to wrap it up because my dinner's ready. But, yeah, it was a really good talk.
You want to join the team,
And just know that I'm not upset about anything. And I don't even get that vibe from you. I just like to say that over and over again, I guess. Kind of annoying. It's true. I don't like to offend people. I don't find it fun. It's not my intention. Your faith is more so that you have the common sense in knowing that you can't think of a single thing that came from nothing possibly, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you know, my faith is that I am certain that there is something godlike in the universe that created the universe, right? The universe couldn't have come from nothing. I'm not like an atheist or anything. Atheists are the most downtrodden, absolutely. I'm going to say some rude shit here. I hope an atheist... You know what? I do like arguing with atheists. I really don't care, because they are the most downtrodden, stupid, pathetic, absolutely... The only thing worse than a atheist is someone who is hyper religious, who is just like zealous about their religion. Oh my God, I despise these people. I don't argue with people anymore in general, but I would if I'd be really tempted today to argue with those people. Let's put it that way. Really fucking tempted. I despise anyone who declares they know what happens after. Or, well, if you have, you know, see, this is that thing where I might offend you. I am not saying I despise you because you have a belief in what happens after you die. I despise people who tell me what's going to happen to me or happen to everyone after they die. Those people can go fuck themselves. Damn, it's looking good. It's like anyone who dares to guess the nature of God or the universe, those people are straight up gonna fucking... You know what? They're not going to hell. They're just not gonna enjoy life. They're never gonna get into heaven. They're gonna sit in purgatory. That's probably where they'd be. Probably be in purgatory. Yeah. Black suit Spidey's looking real good down there. He's gonna look great. And that's kind of an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 316, but I changed the direction of Venom a little bit, made him fit in the shot better. And let's see, how much time did I spend on this today? So, probably get about 5 hours into it, so about 5 hours. I got all that done today in 5 hours. So. Pretty good. Good. All right, buddy. Have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.